Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Bravo Bunch. We are breaking down this past week in Bravo, so that means we're covering Summer House, Real Housewives of Atlanta, Below Deck Sailing Out, Real Housewives of Dallas, and Real Housewives of New Jersey. I am Sam Henson. I am one of the three fearless ladies here tonight. Joining me, as always, is Josh Mendelson. Josh, how are you doing this evening?
Hey girl, hey, I'm doing amazing.
Great.
Doing
Glad to
great.
hear it. Also with us tonight, as always, is Kristian Robinson. Kristian, how are you doing?
I'm good because we got the Beverly Hills trailer.
Yes,
Could
mama.
not be better.
And where
Yes,
is
we
that
do.
Potomac season 6 trailer?
I know.
Right? Still on the grand dom, okay?
Did you guys see that clip on Watch What Happens Live? So last week, this girl was like, Andy, when are we getting the Beverly Hills trailer? And Andy got pissed. Andy was like, I've been asked this so many times. Like, you all are so ungrateful. The second you guys get a new trailer, you ask for the next one. I know when Beverly Hills goes up, you're going to be asking for Potomac season 6. And the girl's just like, she was shook AF. But we have that. Let's go into our breaking news, Bravo news of the week. Real Houses of Beverly Hills season 11 trailer. It has dropped. It has dropped. It is glorious. Premiere date of May 19th. We're about to like hit May and have like a completely new slate of shows we're going to be talking about, which is going to be super exciting because I feel like we're kind of getting a little stale with some of these old other shows. But let's talk about season 11 trailer. Josh, I'll start with you. What are your thoughts about the Beverly Hills season 11 trailer?
I'm living because everyone wants to know what's going on with Erica Jane.
Yes.
Everyone wants to know. And it's so obvious there's some Sutton versus Erica Jane drama. And it's going to happen. And I'm ready for it. I am ready for Sutton to have a diamond. I think she deserves it. And she earned it after last season. So I'm really excited about this cast. I think Beverly Hills is about to have a really good season.
What about you, Kristian?
I was just so happy to see these women again. And of course, I was living for that altercation between Sutton and Erica, where she's like, or what? Or what? And Erica, Sutton is like, or nothing. It just looks so good to watch somebody get bodied like that. So I'm very excited for this season.
Yeah, Beverly Hills, I had to say, it has a very soft spot in my heart. It was like the first like Real Housewives show I ever watched. So even though it's definitely not the best franchise, like it may be one of my favorites just because I love these ladies. I love like the flow of it. It's just so different and it's slower, it's more methodical, but like there's a lot behind the scenes that's like worthy of talking about, which is exciting. I have to say that season 11 trailer, it looks like it's going to be a really great season, purely because I think this is like a really great cast. Like, I don't know if there are really any soft spots on this cast. I'm really excited to meet Crystal. I'm sure she's going to be great. I'm like so fucking excited for Kathy Hilton. Like, truly, Kathy, my sister Kathy is finally here. And Kathy would defend me like a real sister, is here on Real Houses of Beverly Hills. I am truly so excited to see like all of their money, and just like I think Kathy's just gonna like be super unbothered the whole season, and I am so here for that. And go ahead, Josh.
Do you think we'll be seeing more Paris Hilton because Kathy's on it?
I don't know. So I was listening to some clip from Paris's like podcast, I guess. I don't think Paris was like living in LA at the time, or maybe she was, but she wasn't living in that home. And so I think we'll see like her younger brother, maybe. And then I think she said that her mom didn't tell her she was filming, and like actually she called her up and was like, "Oh, I'm not doing it." And then like her brother texted her, was like, "I'm hearing all these ladies downstairs fight in our house. Like I think they're filming right now." And that was like how she found out that Kathy was filming. So like that's incredible.
Love that. Love that.
I love that. I agree. I think Sutton is a really great addition to this cast. I think, you know, this show is like known for being like very secretive, and I feel like Sutton is kind of weird and like will just go there. And I feel like we need someone on this cast that will just go there and like say the thing that nobody else is saying but everyone else is thinking.
Yeah,
and
Lisa Rinna to an extent too does it too.
Lisa Rinna does it too, but I feel like for her it's always part of like her character.
Yes.
Right? Like I don't think Sutton's like not playing character. Like to me, Lisa Rinna, and why I love Lisa Rinna, is like she thinks she's on a soap opera and she's like truly acting as a character on a soap opera. I am very excited to see what we get about her daughter and Scott. That's gonna be bizarre since they're dating. I don't know what anyone else has to say about that. If anyone has anything to say about that.
It's a little strange. There's like a 15-year gap there.
And 3 like pretty like grown kids on his part, and you know what? We'll leave that there. And I have to say, when Crystal and Sutton got into that fight in the trailer, and then Sutton started off, and it's like you're jealous, and Sutton's like, of what? Your leather jeans, like that, literally. I was like, this woman, she is giving her all this season.
Yeah,
I am so excited for it. Yeah, I'm excited for it. I had to say, I think Garcelle was a little MIA from this trailer. I don't know if that means anything from this season. We'll see. Well,
I follow this like spoiler Twitter, and it was like, the preview doesn't even give Garcelle her good moments. Like, she's gonna have a big reckoning with Kyle. And I was like, okay, great. That's what I need. That's what I wanted. That's what I'm here for. So as long as I get it, I'll be good.
Aren't they supposed to be like really good friends this season?
I think they get together this season. So I am very excited for that like combination. I could not be more excited to see how that comes together.
Yeah.
Because I feel like last season, I don't really know what's going on, but I just feel like they're on like completely different planes of existence. And now they are having to like come together, Kyle and Garcelle. So that's just exciting. Like, again, we have Roni coming at the beginning of May. We have Beverly Hills coming on May 19th. That's when it premieres. And yeah, so Summer House has to be ending soon because the reunions have been filmed for for Atlanta, for Dallas, for Summer House. Yeah. And they're filming New Jersey, the reunion, pretty shortly. So like all of these shows are about to like end soon, and we're gonna have a completely new slate of Bravo shows.
Well, I was shocked at Atlanta when the episode ended. It was like next week on the finale. I was like, oh.
I know. The flow was so weird.
Jersey's only like 11 episodes apparently this season. It's short.
Yeah. I think it is short. Like Atlanta always films the longest. Like when Atlanta starts airing, they're not done filming yet. Like they film even after they start airing. Most shows are like well wrapped, but they like just want Atlanta out there. So yeah, I think Atlanta will be the longest, and all of these will be like much shorter seasons, which like I'm here for. Like there's not that much going on, so like I'm here for these shorter seasons. No more 26 episode seasons. That is long gone, please.
Yes.
Okay, let's get to like our next rumor. Okay, so there were rumors about like a week ago that Real Housewives of Nashville was filming, whatever that means, and that there were two people, including Jana Kramer. I don't know who any of these white blonde ladies are, but apparently one is Luke Bryan's wife.
Yeah, it's Jason Aldean's wife, I think, right?
Okay, yeah, some country stars. Real Housewives of Nashville. Okay, I didn't like believe that this was real, and then the Us Weekly article came out, and if you read it like very carefully, it's not real. Like it's not real yet. Like they're filming something that has not been picked up. Like we've seen this happen. They've done this before for Chicago. Like they've test run many different things. And it's not even a Real Housewives test run. They said it's a Real Housewives style show that could be shopped around anywhere. So like we don't even know if this is going to be a Real Housewives. This could end up on some random ass network somewhere else. I don't really know. Like if this was real, let's just hypothetically say if this was real, are you guys interested in it? Kristian.
I'm interested in it in the sense that it is Housewives, and so I will consume it. But other than that, I feel like this would be the one, including Dallas, that I just have the least amount of interest in.
Yeah, what about you, Josh?
I agree. It is actually, I will say, speaking of Dallas, it is sad to see how bad their ratings are. Dallas does not have good ratings. Their ratings are really weak. I mean, I look on Wikipedia. But like, yeah, it's going to be similar to that. Like, from what it looks like, it's a bunch of basic white blonde women. And I don't want to watch that. Sorry. That's boring to me.
Yeah. I think like, I do think like if this were to go forward, I do think we will see a slightly more diverse cast. Like I only think 2 people are cast right now, and the rest is all speculation. Like I don't think Bravo would put out a whole other white cast. Like maybe I'm wrong, but like I think we've gotten past that, especially like from how they were casting the other shows.
Right.
I've always like kind of felt that area of the country, like that like Louisville, Nashville, like type area was like ripe for one of these shows. Like I think there's a lot of wealth. There's a lot of like women that just kind of like fit the mold. Like this wouldn't shock me at all. And like I wouldn't also shock me if they like put this on Peacock, and I guess we'll still cover it if that is the case. But like, yeah, I don't know. I again, it's Real Housewives. I will watch it. Like I'm kind of optimistic in the sense that like Salt Lake City, right? That's a city that's very also conservative, and like you would have never thought that a group about at the time it was like, oh, we're gonna like watch Mormons, like, are they gonna drink? Like, what's even gonna be interesting? And now we're a season later, an arrest later, and we're absolutely fucking glued, right? So like, never say never.
True. Salt Lake
That's
City's
true.
incredible.
It's true. Like, the one thing I will say is like, I don't know if I actually want to see wives of celebrities. Like, to me, that's less interesting and potentially more prone to just like being really boring. Like, I think there's more to lose with in Salt Lake City. There is nothing for these ladies to lose unless you're Jen Shaw, then you have a lot more to lose, but you are willing to put it out there. So that's exciting. I don't know. I'm cautiously like, I'm just gonna like keep an eye on that one. Like, we'll see where it goes. Like, I'm here for more franchises. Like, do you guys have any other ideas of like a good city? Like, what do you think would be a great next city to add? Any ideas? Miami's so like Miami's coming back allegedly on Peacock. So like that starts filming soon. What Josh?
Like a new place for them to go?
Yes. What do you think
Detroit.
would be like?
Have them come to Detroit. There's so much opportunity here. I think Detroit would be incredible. I'm just calling it right now. I think they'd have a diverse cast. I think Detroit is a melting pot of all different cultures, even like even more so than Chicago. I think it's been up and coming over the last 10, 15 years as well. I think Detroit would be great.
Kristian, any ideas? Any thoughts?
I want like I just think of like liberal cities. Like, I'm like, where's our Austin? Like, I want to see these, like, because there's plenty of rich people in Austin, something like that, where it's like still down south. So there's a specific like culture to it that I can like watch and be intrigued by, like Salt Lake City, but it's still like fairly liberal.
Even Portland or Seattle.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think Portland would be really good, and like Portland maybe two. Like, I also think where do they film Big Little Lies? Like that area of California.
Oh yeah.
I've done a lot of like fundraising out there. Those people are crazy. Okay. So like I feel like that could be a really great thing. Okay.
Yeah.
Nashville, we'll keep an eye on that. Last bit of news is Real Housewives of Atlanta season 13 reunion trailer dropped. Kristian, do you have like any thoughts about this?
I think my biggest thoughts is it looks like Candy is like really not holding back and coming for Portia. And it seems like maybe the allegations of the drugging and the sex dungeoning and all of that are resurfacing again.
Okay, I heard that they cut out some of the trailer. I didn't like see them like fighting like in the trailer. Can you explain what you saw? Like, did it look like they were fighting?
Yeah, Portia, there was a part that I watched that was Portia kind of yelling at Candy, being like, do not bring back these allegations from 4 years ago between us. Like, we had moved past that. And I was like, oh, are we talking about it? And Candy was like, we're talking about it. And so, I don't know. I hope we see it, because I feel like it's really rare, especially this season, that we see Candy like get involved in things in terms of drama. Like, she's a good commentator and facilitator, but she doesn't get heated in any of it. And it looks like she's getting actively mad in this reunion. So I'm very excited for that, because I miss that side of Candy.
Okay, I have to say, like, maybe I watched a different reunion trailer, but that was not in the reunion trailer I watched. And so I don't know, maybe we won't get it, maybe we will. I'm like very curious to see how that resurfaces, because I don't know, like,
there's depths of Twitter.
Okay, good. I
Always
believe
on
you.
the steps of Twitter.
I believe you 100%. Like, I think that's going to be weird to like go back to that place. I was like very surprisingly little amounts of LaToya in the reunion trailer. I have to say, like, I was like, is she even there? And like, I saw one like little glimpse of her at the end, but like, she's been the entire drama of the season. So like, to see her not in the trailer as much was like kind of surprising. So I don't know.
It's interesting to me she wasn't a full-fledged housewife, which I'm sure we'll get into that we have already, but we'll get into it again. It's just like, why didn't she have a peach? It just doesn't make sense to me. Doesn't.
I don't know. I'm curious. Like, I saw a rumor that she's not coming back, like that she said she's not coming back, but I don't know if that's real. Like, I guess we'll learn more shortly, because they're probably going to start filming shortly again. Okay, let's go to Summer House this week. Last week, Summer House had the arrival of Des. I think that to me was like the big of the episode. Like, Des comes to the house, and it's like pretty much as you would expect it to go. Like, just kind of a bit of a hot mess, like everything Hannah related this season.
And all over the house.
Yeah. Kristian, I gotta start with you first. Like, what were your thoughts on this Des Hannah relationship?
I was I mean, honestly, I was just impressed that they were having so much sex. I love like the editors being shady and putting
Shady.
timestamps on it. That is always funny to me. But he seems like pretty down to earth, chill. And so I'm just interested to see how he will actually fit into the house. Clearly, Luke is just frustrated, and I'm sure that he'll blow up about this very soon. But I really liked Des. I had a good first impression of him.
Interesting. What about you, Josh?
I thought he was fun. I think he's a good addition. I think I texted you guys. I feel like we're gonna get villain vibe. I feel like he's a villain. I feel like he's a villain waiting to happen. But Sam, I just to say, I wrote here in my personal notes. Sam asks for more guys, and his wish came true because we got like 4 more guys this episode.
Yeah. I really didn't want all these white guys, but I guess that's the answer. What I've been looking for.
They were all the men.
I know. I have to say, like, he seems kind of fake to me. Like, I don't, to me, he doesn't seem like a real, like, okay, maybe this is my mind thinking, like, maybe this is me being a terrible person, but I'm like, okay, he is like, what, 40, mid 40s? Like, why is he single? Why is he dating this girl that's like 20 years younger than him? And that's also filming a reality show, like, at this time. Like, very coincidental. He seems all about being on camera. I don't know. Like, to me, it's just like, I don't know. It seems kind of fake to me. Like, now knowing that they're engaged, it's just like, whoo, visions to me.
I feel like it's just like that classic, like, New York performer who's like he's not famous by any means. I don't know that he has like a strong following. And I've like watched some of his comedy videos and I don't find them to be that funny. So like, I feel just like he was like, any press is good press. Let's get me on the TV show.
That's how I feel too, Josh. Go ahead.
Honestly, I feel like he's going to be all the drama next season. I feel like
I agree.
I think this season we're getting introduced to him. I think next season, like 70% of the drama is going to be like him and Hannah versus everyone in the house, or like them having a divorce or something. Like he's going to be the drama next season. I think they're setting it up.
Yeah.
Do you think they're setting up a potential spinoff for Hannah and Des? Like, do you think that could?
The fuck not.
A Bethany Ever After with those two, knowing very well it's going to come crashing down in a very dramatic way.
Hate that so much. I think I liked it, like, this episode, because it was like, oh, this is like the extent of their relationship. I don't know that they have any sort of compelling storyline after this.
Yeah, I agree. Like, what are your thoughts on them hooking up in Amanda's bathroom? Josh?
Messy, and you know they did that on purpose. That was like,
of course.
I'm gonna say I'll give a big fuck you to both of them and get banged in that bathroom. We heard her moaning the entire episode. Let's moan in the bathroom. Let's moan in the laundry room. Let's moan in the pantry. Let's moan in every room in the damn house. Like, good for her. She's a good bottom.
Yeah, I just like I get it. Like, they hadn't been together for a while, and so like, have all the sex you want. I'm not judging that, but I'm like, you know that this is going to be super cut on camera.
Yes.
Right. Like, I just have some tact about it. It just seemed like after like the first 2 or 3 times, I was like, this is just tacky now.
Yeah. And when he spills the beans, it's like, I knew that was honestly my biggest red flag. I was like, this man is trying to cause drama on this show. Like, that was so overt to me. I was just like, and the other girls were like, okay. That would have been my reaction too. I'd be like, okay, like, why are you telling me this? I actually don't want to hear about straight people having sex.
do you want to know what's going on? They had Stravi come on. He's boring. So like, we need someone who's more villainous and more that's going to like stir the pot a little bit. So let's bring on another guy who's secretly like 30 years older than everybody in the house. Hey, let's do it. He's a hot dad.
Let's talk about Stravi here. Let's talk about Stravi. He is back. As we saw last week, he has the I Heart UN candles. They've seen battery-powered candles. Wow, impressive. He brought out his own little generator for it. They have a conversation. I think Lindsay seems like genuinely excited, impressed that a man has done this. And then he asks her to be his girlfriend. And she basically says no. Like, well, she's like, we're here. Let's start with a reset. Start with a fresh date. And he's literally like, what? Like he literally can't even process that in his mind. He's like, I'm here. What more do you want from me? Like that was
Right.
literally his mind was just like I think it flatlined there for a second. Okay. Well, does anyone have any thoughts about this? Please.
I don't have a lot on Steffi because I find him so boring. I think he's not entertaining to me. Lindsay is. Lindsay's full on
Of course.
fun. She's like a more professional hot mess. She's like Hannah, but the professional version.
Yes.
And her tits are always hanging out. Good for her. But like, I feel like she's all the personality in that relationship. Like I guess maybe his personality is in his penis or something because there's no personality there.
But I think like every relationship needs a rock and a star. And clearly Lindsay is the star, Strawby is the rock. And I think Strawby there's no way he came back on this TV show being like, I'm not, like he had to know he was going to look dumb as fuck. Like he just had to know that while he was gone, that Lindsay was just doing stupid shit and talking mad shit. And
I don't know, though. I feel like he didn't know that.
I just like, if you've ever watched Lindsay in any of these shows, it's like just what she does. And so I don't know what is going to happen with Strawby. I know it's not going to be good or in his favor. But I'm happy to see him back. I think he's so cute.
Yeah, he is cute.
He is cute. Like, duh. All those boys are cute. Carl's
not Danielle's boyfriend, to be honest.
Okay, wait. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. I thought he was kind of cute. I have to say, I thought he was kind of cute.
Maybe he's your type. He's not mine.
Okay. He had pretty bad tattoos that I think were a little too colorful and maybe regretful. But I feel like, I felt bad. I felt like he was everything that Des was not to me. Like he actually seemed like awkward and uncomfortable on cameras. And if I were Danielle, that would be the best like sign to me, was like this man that is showing it for me is like clearly uncomfortable being filmed for a reality show, and it's not like spilling tea to other girls in the house. Like I just like felt like he was like sweet and I liked him and I just like her so much. And maybe I'm like liking her judgment, but I don't know. Like I felt like it was like sweet, and I felt like when she was having that awkward conversation about those caterpillars committing suicide, I was like, oh, okay. That was so weird.
Sam, at least he was a boyfriend that was, showing up on like pages.
Yeah, let's talk about Paige. I feel like she's like really going through things this episode. Like I feel like we're heading towards like a total breakdown. Like that's getting foreshadowed to me. She was like having a drinking montage on the boat, shit talking on the boat, and saying like when she got back, she's like, I almost hooked up with Carl, JK, whatever that means. And then was like,
she's so messy.
She is. She's so messy. And then she's like talking to her boyfriend, and her boyfriend like clearly doesn't want her to even be on this reality show. It's just like really bizarre. I don't get it. Like, are they even a couple? I don't think they are. Right.
So did anyone watch What Happens Live with Carl and Trishelle? Okay.
Please enlighten.
So they were on together. Trishelle from The Real World, All Stars Challenge. It's on. It's amazing. It's on Paramount Plus. Amazing. And then also Carl. Now the tea is Paige and her boyfriend broke up.
Shocker.
After the summer, like in the fall, they broke up. So Andy kind of was throwing hints at Carl, like, hey, you guys should date. And Carl was like, we'll see what happens this summer. Ooh.
Jesus.
Plotline for next season. We got Des stirring up drama next season, and we got Carl and Paige maybe getting together. So
not again, though. I feel like they already exhausted that resource in Paige's first summer, and it just did not go well for her and Carl. So I wouldn't be shocked if they hooked up, but I don't think that it'll be anything of substance.
I feel like next season, I think the only person they're taking out is Luke. Are we in consensus there?
Yes, he's just so sad to watch at this point.
Yeah, there's nothing like fun to watch. Like I feel like they cast him because it's like, oh my god, the girls are gonna love him, but like everyone's over him and no one's like really doing, like he's just like on an island by himself, like woodworking.
I will say one thing that I thought was fun about Des was like, I feel like if I walked into a situation that he was walking into, I would be weird with Luke, and he was just like shooting the shit with Luke and just like poking fun at him and just
because he's old. It's because he's old.
That's true.
All right, let's rate this episode. I'm gonna give this episode 2.5 out of 5. What are we rating this out of?
True middle. I was going to give
Full
it a
floating.
3.
Go ahead. 3? Okay, what about you, Josh?
I will also give it 3. I think there were some eventful things, and I
Okay.
think there were
Maybe I'm
there were
being low.
episodes this season that I think this week that I think were lower, or kind of just total filler episodes.
Yeah,
So-
I had to say this was like a pretty like filler week. I feel like it's like we're closing off a lot of stories.
Yeah.
Not too much is happening. Let's get to Real Houses of Atlanta. Okay. Can someone please break this down for me? I truly do not understand. I think the big gags episode was everything with LaToya in this
Yes.
prophet in the canceled baptism. Like, can someone please I was struggling to understand what was happening. Go ahead.
Yes. So we have Drew, who's having a baptism by her prophet, or the priest or prophet that's doing that. So apparently there's drama being spread around that LaToya is spreading around trauma that the assistant was involved and being messy. And basically he was with LaToya. Him and LaToya were having something together. So someone was LaToya spreading that around, I think? Was that the deal? Because I know him and LaToya that was the rumor.
I don't know who was spreading,
because she was like pissed that people were talking about it. She didn't think that it was true. So it seems like Drew somehow, through their connection to this prophet, had heard some tea.
Yeah.
And then that was going around. So Drew pendulum swung and was like, I can't have my baptism if LaToya is causing this drama within my congregation. And now LaToya is not only being rude to me, she's fucking with my family. And I was just like, Drew, this was just seemed so forced. It seemed like such a good excuse to get more mad. And I think we're all having trouble comprehending what was going on because it doesn't make sense.
It doesn't. And then they called him at the end and he was denying everything anyway. So I'm like, what's the point of this?
Right.
Yeah, I feel like the ladies don't even understand what's happening. This is I don't even know if I think it's real. Do you guys think it's real? Do you think LaToya is dating this man? Thoughts?
No.
Kristian?
No, I don't think so. She seemed so adamant about it, and to FaceTime him on camp, it just was. I mean, that's a bold move. I don't know. So it just something doesn't check out.
Something is not checking out. There's we have heard the story of Drew's assistant driving LaToya drunk home from Niece's party. Literally 100. I think every episode it has been mentioned. How many times do we have heard the story? LaToya was drunk. She didn't have a driver. Okay, and I feel is it this messy assistant? I honestly have no idea what is really happening. I don't really think they were together. I don't know. Drew calls LaToya a Delilah. I think is what she called her. Can someone explain what that even means?
I have no idea, but my favorite line of the episode was, I'll go to prophet.com and get me another prophet. Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah, Drew was doing the most. She gave us an Yvette Nicole Brown cameo, which was super random. And I was like, why is the woman from Community and what was Drake and Josh on my TV screen right now? That was really weird. I don't know. Does anyone have anything else to say about all of that mess? I feel like we're gonna learn more about this at the read.
Right? Yeah, 100%.
I think
it's just seemed desperate in this episode for some drama.
Yeah, it's setting. I feel do you guys get that vibe that a lot of these seasons that are being filmed during COVID are desperate for plot lines or coming out with these, even in New Jersey with the Gorgas, every single one, they have these plot lines that just don't make sense. It's because they need them so bad.
It's hard it's just hard to follow. And I don't know if it's maybe because they're filming a little bit less than they would before. So they're having to do more editing storytelling to connect the dots, but I we didn't need this, to be honest. We could have ended Atlanta last week and I think we would have had the same exact results. And this show has been filming, we're getting every fucking holiday on Real Houses of Atlanta. Tomorrow, next episode is this Christmas party. We have seen just 2 episodes ago we were at Halloween and we're getting Christmas, and it's we started in the summer. How many holidays are we going to go through with these ladies?
I know.
Okay, it is time. Like, I don't know. Was there anything else to say? Kenya is having Kenya drama. Okay, Marlo apologizes.
Marlo apologizes, but she's also lying about not admitting she got liposuction when it's so obvious she did. It's like she's like literally sitting there in like a liposuction brace, being like, I don't know what y'all are talking about. I didn't get this. Please, girl, you got your plastic surgery. Own it.
It's just like a weird hill to die on. This episode, that's the whole episode. Just a weird hill to die on. It's been like Kenya, like not getting back with, but like trying to work things out with Mark. I was like, this also is so tired. Like, what the fuck is wrong? Like, what is going through her head?
I know. I'm just so over that relationship. Mark is gross. Kenya is tied to this man. Ugh. Kenya gets breast reduction. I guess good for her. That's all I have to really say about that.
Yeah.
Anything else to say about Atlanta? Pretty quiet week. I'm gonna honestly give this like 1.5 out of 5 peaches. We are like getting soft towards the end here.
Ooh, this week is not a good week. I'm gonna give it 2.
Yeah, I was gonna give it 2. Like I definitely was entertained by the whole prophet drama, but then when I like sat back and tried to think about it, I was like, doesn't make any sense. Never mind.
I know, and it just Drew to me is like kind of doing the most. Like I like her. I'm excited to see what she could do with the second season. Like I just don't need all of this. Like we're getting more of like baby daddy drama next week. I'm just like, oh, like it's a little too much for me. So I am like eager for this to like be on its way, and we will return to Atlanta again in the far distant future. So that is Atlanta. Finale is next week. Wow, can't believe that's almost over. But below deck selling out, let's jump right into it. Oh my god. Okay, so this episode, I feel like there was a lot of drama happening. Like there was actually a lot of drama, and it was because like we didn't have guests come until the very end. But it really was the Allie, Sydney, and Gary show. There was the 3 of them going back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. They're flirting, and then they're fighting, and then they're like making up again, and it's like this crazy cycle. I have to say, I miss my girl Elizabeth from Below Deck last season. I had to say this again.
I knew you were gonna say this. I knew it. I knew
Elizabeth
it.
On the Winter House next season. Put her on a fucking Bravo show. I just had to put that out there. I don't know why, but I was literally having that thought watching this episode. I was like, I miss Elizabeth right now.
Is Sydney a little bit like Sydney's like I feel so bad for Sydney because she's so like all over the place. It was messy. That girl is a mess.com.
I have a hard time feeling bad for her because I'm like,
no,
you're
I don't.
playing yourself.
Stage 5 clinger.
Like,
get into bed with him. She got into bed with him. That was messy.
Well, yeah, let's talk about that. So like, I guess Sydney and Allie, let's start from the beginning. So Sydney and Allie, they're talking Gary. Okay, I do have to say the skinny dipping, it was a little woo for 9 p.m. on Bravo. Then we go to Sydney. Okay, just gonna say woo. Okay, Sydney and Allie then have this conversation, and Sydney is basically just like, I like Gary. And Allie's just like, oh. Like she's like, I think actually thrown off guard by that. She's like, oh, I actually don't really like him. Like, I can totally end this with Gary. And Sydney's like, yeah, I actually do really like Gary. And so I think like Allie was like, okay, like this is like gone too far. But then Sydney's drunk, sloppy ass. I can say that. I just think she was just really messy. Like, I don't know anyone that's probably having a harder time watching themselves back on a reality show than Sydney this season. Sydney goes and she gets her ass into Gary's bunk. What are your thoughts about that, guys?
Messy ass bitch. Like, and it's just like weird. It's creepy. Like,
it's kind of creepy. Like, I honestly was uncomfortable by it.
It's all 5 stages of clinger. Okay.
Yeah, like if this were like flipped the other way around, I would like be really uncomfortable. And so I'm like trying to like be that uncomfortable about this like drunk girl getting into bed with this like sleeping man that is also really fucked and like doesn't want her to be there. And it's just like really uncomfortable and like, whoo, girl.
His fault. He slept with her.
I get that it's COVID and I get that they like slept together before, but I'm like, y'all have been together for what, 2 weeks now, maybe? Like it's not a good look.
Yeah, it's like Gary was like, oh, come sleep in my bunk with me. Like he was like full ass out, and then she comes and puts her ass in that bed and stays there all night long. And then they get up, and then the fighting ensues. Like I could barely follow it. But like Gary first goes to Allie. He like starts fighting with Allie. I don't really know why. It's like I guess Allie pushed Sydney in the room, and then he goes to Sydney, and he's like pissed. He's like, I went to bed alone, and I woke up next to you. And like he didn't even remember talking to her. Oh, we didn't even mention this. When Sydney was in the bunk, she was like, "You can work with my family, and like we can live in Florida together and have a family." And I was just like, girl, no, don't
spiraling.
girl, don't say these things on camera. Ooh, girl. Okay, then it's just like a mess. Like Gary's fighting with everyone, and then JL starts fighting with Allie. I didn't even know why, and then like I honestly could not even follow. And then Allie and Gary talk. I was like, I'm struggling. My grandpa died, and then he's like pissed. He's like, "Fuck you!" Basically, he walks off, and then he apologizes. I'm just like, wow, this is like a true roller coaster. I'm just like, wow.
It was Shakespearean. Oh my
we saw all the acts play. I was like, oh, we need more of these episodes without guests, because I'm finding like on the sailing episodes, the guests are not compelling, and it slows the drama down.
Mhm.
Really getting a lot out of these episodes when there's nothing but just the crew being messy. Okay, we have new guests. They're like gross.
They're obsessed with eggs.
With what? With what?
Eggs.
Oh yeah, that was like weird egg drama. But also, to be fair,
What was with the eggs?
how did Natasha not know what an over easy egg was? Like that
It's
was
Natasha.
a full ass scrambled egg.
Does that really surprise you with Natasha? Natasha has her own mind. She's in her own wonderland, and that's why you love her.
I
And
love
her little
her.
rant about like we need to stop associating breakfast with eggs because it can be so much more. I was like, shut the fuck up.
She's great. I live for her. I live for Natasha. She's my favorite.
Oh, she's great. She's great.
She's really good.
I need a show where you put the chefs together. Like, I want to see Rachel and Natasha together. Like, I need to see
a Top Chef,
below deck.
Yes.
Fuck yes. Like, it's Bravo. Like, all connected. Please make this happen. They're cooking in kitchens the size of a closet. I need to see that happen.
Mm-hmm.
Also, I know we don't talk about it, but I am really sad about who was eliminated on Below Deck this week. I mean, on Top Chef this week. I really liked her.
I didn't find it that surprising.
I mean, I did it, but I liked her.
The editing is too obvious. That's all I'm gonna say. Okay, so let's continue on Below Deck. Let's get this wrapped. Okay, JL, Danny, they make out. Blah 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 blah.
Period.
Does anyone have anything else to say about Below Deck sailing out this week?
Not really.
No,
yeah, it was.
It still seems like there's some mounting tensions between Daisy and everybody, but
yeah, I like Daisy's accent.
Okay, I actually do have to say I really like Daisy, and I think
she's great.
It's very different than Francesca because her entire like interior crew like confides in Daisy, whereas like I think it was just like it's so weird to see because literally the last season of Below Deck was just Francesca and Elizabeth fighting like crazy the entire season. So it's actually great to see a girl boss that is actually a great girl boss, and I'm living for that.
So I have a question. I do have a question because you guys know I'm just starting on Below Deck this season. Does someone usually get fired like every season? Does that happen?
Yeah, it does. Like I don't know if COVID will like change that. Like I may be where it's like harder to fire. We kind of saw that with Elizabeth. It was harder to fire her because it's hard to fly people out to these like remote locations. But I feel like typically like the last season of Below Deck there was like 5 people fired. Like and Below Deck Med was like 1 million people fired. So I feel like it is pretty par for the course of hiring.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. I think I don't know. Is this the best episode of the week for me so far? Even though I don't have much to say about it, I'm gonna give it a 3 out of 5, just because like we saw the fallout, we saw the romance, the fallout, and the makeup all in a single episode, and you know what? That's closure. And I had to say 3 out of 5 sales for me. What about you, Kristian?
I'm gonna give it 3 out of 5 too. I love a good Shakespeare story.
Yeah. What about you, Josh?
I'll give it a 3.5 for a little slight Natasha drama. So
yes, yeah, more Natasha drama. Love that. Okay, let's go to Dallas. I have to say, There's a lot about this episode, but when we finally got the tea about Deandra and her inheritance, I was glued to the fucking TV. I was like obsessed listening to about how the inheritance worked out.
Okay, so like walk me through it because I maybe misunderstood.
Yeah, break it down.
I could not have been more glued to the TV. Okay, so here's what happened. Her stepmom, she knew that if she wanted to get to talk to her brother, she needed to talk to her stepmom first. Mm-hmm. So she wrote a letter to her stepmom, and her stepmom responded to that letter saying, "Oh, me and my son got your beautiful letters. Before he wants to have dinner with you, but before we do, I want to have dinner with you first, and we can bury the hatchet." So apparently this is the tea. This is what happened. So Deandra had just married her first husband. I don't know how many times she's been married. I actually didn't even know she was married before. But her father, right when her father killed himself, she drove back home to Austin. When she went inside her childhood bedroom, she saw that there was a will laying on her bed that says that she got nothing. And apparently, at the same time, Mama D had made an agreement and an arrangement with her dad that said that he would not pay child support in his life, with the agreement that Deandra would get all of his inheritance, right? And she had that will that superseded that will that the stepmom put on the bed. And so then when it came time to divide money, Deandra offered that she and her brother could split the inheritance down the middle, but the stepmom wanted all of it. So the stepmom took Deandra to court, and in the end, Deandra got all of the money. That is the tea. That is why there is drama. And I can't wait to see how this unfolds.
She got that money, honey.
Does anyone have any thoughts about this tea?
Again, Shakespearean happening
it is Shakespearean.
Right before our eyes here on Bravo. Like, it's iconic.
Like me, I'm literally envisioning Deandra walking into her bedroom and seeing a will that says you get nothing. And she said her dad had just died.
Nothing. What is you so busy lifting drinks? Me and Alex do that all the time from like the Willy Wonka. And he's like, you get nothing.
It is true. Just like I was glued. I was like, this woman has so much going on in her life. I'm like obsessed. I just can't say how obsessed I am with Deandra. Like, Josh, you have any thoughts about this story?
I live for Deandra. Any story with Deandra is amazing. And she responds to me as well as Cameron. Cameron responded to me on Instagram too, y'all.
Jesus.
Oh wow, you're really sliding into the DMs.
Oh yeah, I love sliding into Dallas DMs. I've gotten 3 Dallas, 1 former, 2 current. Well, wow. Former.
Let's see how many we can get by the end of the season. All right, let's wrap up Oklahoma. That to me was just like the tea where I was like, this is real tea. Like that was like, this isn't Bravo fake tea. Like this is a real story that I was glued. Okay, so that was just me like being a mess. Okay, let's wrap up Oklahoma. Like, okay, Charles comes back and Carrie apologizes. She's like, oh, blah, 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 blah. Sorry, I was upset, blah, 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 blah. And everyone was like, Carrie, it's not really an apology. Charles was like, did I do something wrong? I was like, okay, he's kind of sweet, but then at the same time, I know he's probably a Trumper. And so I'm like, okay, whatever. Let's see. Then there was like the redneck relay. I have nothing to say about this, and I want to skip over.
There is something I want to say, which was funny, was Cameron during the relay was the star, in my opinion. I love Cameron. I'm sorry. Like, she's grown on me. She's grown on me so much in this show. When she like didn't understand the rules and she just like jumped into the goo. Like
that would have been me though, like not listening to the rules. I would have just been like completely checked out, being like, do I really have to do this? Yeah, I love Cameron so much. Let's see. One of the teams wins, whatever. The thing that did really shake me to my core was when they hopped in that hot tub when they were all gross. I was like, that is literally going to take weeks of chemicals to get that out.
Yeah, like you're going to have to drain that shit. Like,
yeah, I was honestly kind of shook by that. I was like, that is insane to me. Okay, then let's get to like the producer cam came out, and that's when you know some real shit's going to go down. So the producer cam comes out. Tiffany has this like prank of fart smell. She puts it in Carrie's room, and Carrie freaks out. She's like, I hate fart smells. And she goes and she like takes it just one step too far, like Carrie always fucking does. She takes like drinks, she takes salsa, and she just like dumps it all over Cameron
Cameron's
and Tiffany's
bed.
bed,
Oh.
and Cameron freaked the fuck out. Like, and she had a complete right to. Like, that was honestly foul. Like, that was foul. And it was like 2 a.m. Like, it didn't seem like there were replacement sheets. So it's like, what are we gonna wait till like 4 for this to be like done washed? Like, that was disgusting.
It was really bad. It was bad.
It was just bad. And I'm just like, Carrie is just an absolute villain. She's just a mess. Like, she's just, I don't even know what else to say, but
like just pure chaos. Like she knew from start to finish that was bad and that it would be perceived very poorly, and she just went through the entire thing anyway.
That's the thing about Carrie, though. I feel like is like when she's in the moment, I don't think she thinks she's doing something bad. You know, it's not until
Gemini. Is she the same sign as me?
Well, she literally was like, "What? It's salsa.
It's salsa." Like, I'm like, well, they can't go to sleep now. Like, what are you fucking talking about? And then she's like, it'll come out. And it's like,
that is psychological warfare.
Oh, she's a Cancer. July 14th. That's Cancer, right? Or is that Leo?
I have no idea.
I was like, she seems like a Gemini.
The next morning, they're cleaning up. Carrie calls them shenanigans. I thought that was hilarious. Let's see. Anything else you want to say about the trip? Okay, let's go. Let's like.
You know, there is one thing. I forgot, and
go.
You might not like that I'm going to say this, but all season, Brandy has just been vile and like just hard unbearing. This is the first episode where I saw a little bit of old Brandy, a little bit of it. This is the first.
I don't think she had a single confessional.
She was funny though. Her and Stephanie were pulling pranks together with the gorillas. It was cute. I thought it was funny. They were funny together. And someone said a confessional about it.
Tiffany had a confessional. She's like, I'm happy that Brandy's like actually happy. And I don't know. I have nothing really to add to that. Let's get to like some good stuff again. Let's get to Cameron. Cameron was being typical Cameron. Love it. She has her dog psychic come over. She has a reading with Louis. Not her only psychic of the evening.
Mommy was like stung by a scorpion, and my arm was completely red, and like, you know, well, I guess it didn't fall off, so it's okay.
She's like, it's not poisonous because my arm's still here. That killed me. And then her spirit guide comes over and gives her a reading with her dog Louis, who she will never get over. And Court's just sitting there being like, why did I marry this woman?
He's a team player for sure.
He is a team player. I think he does secretly love the mess that she is, and like loves the character. He loves being like the straight man in the role. He'll play the straight man really well. Sandra gives some like very heartwarming readings. Louis coming to the new house with them. Absolutely, she says. And then later we get another scene where we get an entire scene of Louis' old dog closet. That dog has more clothes than I do.
Literally, same.
Literally. He had my favorite thing was like, oh my gosh, like this is his favorite thing to wear when jet setting. That was my favorite line.
Could you imagine?
Oh my god, that was just so brilliant. Okay, let's get to the last thing of the episode. Tiffany has her mom come over. They're making dumplings. It's a little awkward. They talk about going to the library. They talk about how they didn't really ever do anything on the weekends. And her mom's like, well, we did flashcards and I took you to the library. And then Tiffany's like, that's not what I mean. And then Tiffany breaks down and her mom's like, give some vulnerability. And I think we get some closure to the story at the end.
A little bit. It's rough. Like, that's just like, I can't relate to that because I was only a child raised by a single mom, and my mom and I just can't relate to Tiffany on that end. Yeah. But I feel for her because her mom just comes across as like emotionally unavailable. And it's really hard for her, but because like I think she's taught herself how to be emotionally available based on what she's been through. But it was hard to watch. It is hard to watch scenes with her and her mom.
Mm-hmm. It's just like hard. It's hard to conceptualize. I mean, I get that we all know that she went to college very early. She graduated med school early, but like she went to college at 15.
Yeah.
Like think about like she graduated college like at 18 or something like that. Like I can't even imagine. Like she just inherently through going through childhood like that, she was like robbed of so much of like a normative experience or like socialization. So like really all she had to rely on was her family. And so that I'm starting to like really empathize as to like why this is like so important and monumental to her. And it's just like very frustrating for her mom to be like, oh no, like we did stuff. Like I give you hugs. Like I was there for you. I don't know what you're saying. And it's like Tiffany, no, like clearly Tiffany is like bearing her soul here. And her mom is just like, okay.
Yeah.
Sure, girl.
Yeah, you could see like how regimented her mom is because she was like, it's her birthday apparently. She's like having to like leave to go home to cook for her husband. I'm like, there are takeout. This is a takeout kind of evening if I ever heard of one. But like that was just like, yeah, it's pretty like sad to see. Apparently on Watch What Happens Live, Tiffany said that her mom doesn't watch, which is probably the best for everyone involved in that relationship. Mom does not watch the show, does not see what Tiffany says about that. And I think that is key to healing anything there in that relationship. Yeah, I mean, like, I think again, I feel like there's a lot of closed books this episode of Dallas. We got the closed book of Cameron and her dog. We got the closed book on Tiffany and her mom. And I don't even know where we have left to go. Next week, it seems like we're going to close the book on Deandra and the stepmom. So I am excited for that. Again, that is real tea. And I can't wait to see that. All right, so I'm going to give this episode. Someone else start. Kristian, what will you give this episode?
Oh, it looks like Josh about to say something.
Josh, go ahead.
Okay. I will give it a 3.5 out of 5.
Okay.
I was going to give it a 2.5, like solidly in the middle for me. Like it was good, but it just kind of like dragged on.
Yeah, I'm gonna give it a 3. I think I actually I used to like really feel the reverse where I loved group sets and I really didn't like solo footage, but the solo footage this week was really good. I feel like we got really good stuff from Tiffany, Cameron, and Deandra, and the Oklahoma stuff was where I was like,
yeah.
And I was like, I love that. Like Tiffany was like, "Can we say redneck?" that
was good.
That was like actually really funny. And Cameron was like, "Yeah, can we?" And Stephanie's like, "Yeah."
But then Stephanie being like, "I'm a redneck," and I'm like, "Baby girl, no,
in your $10 million house in Dallas, girl.
Like this is appropriate.
You have a foundation. You have a foundation. If you have a foundation, you are not a redneck,
right?
Okay, let's get to our last show of the week. New Jersey is, I think, pretty quiet in New Jersey, actually, this week. So I feel like we can hit this one pretty fast. Yeah. So I feel like the biggest drama this week was Jen and her parents. I think similar to the Tiffany stuff, it's just kind of like tough to watch. Like, I don't really have the context to it. I don't really know what to think or who to really root for. Like, it's really just kind of awkward and uncomfortable to watch. Like, what are your guys' thoughts about the whole Jennifer's parents?
I'm always team believe women. And so I just I found this just hard, and it was pretty painful to watch them all at some point just kind of deny their mom's experience. She literally was like, I was emotionally abused, and they're like, no, but women's rights were different, and different time, and you weren't supposed to be equal, so you weren't and I was just bruh, calm in. I felt so bad. And even Jennifer trying to extend the olive branch was okay, if mom is saying this, then we have to think that it's at least true for her. And I'm like, no, bitch, it's just true in general.
That's the thing. It's I don't even think Jen believes it, but she was like, I just have to tell her I believe her, or I see you. And I don't even think she does. It's just she was just told to, and she that would make her mom feel better. Yeah, I agree. It's I don't know. I actually struggle with my thoughts on this. What about you, Josh? Because I don't even know if I have any. Go ahead.
I'm the same. I have that opinion. I mean, it's hard to watch family struggles. I mean, they put it on TV and that's good for them, but it's kind of hard. What is it? Her parents divorced? Is that how it works? They aren't divorced, but her mom doesn't. Her mom has some serious issues with her dad, and her mom wouldn't go with her granddaughter to Turkey because her husband was, or her separated husband was going. It's really awkward. It's hard. I don't know. I like Jennifer though. I do. She's grown on me a lot on the show,
Mhm.
but
What are your thoughts on Jennifer ranting on Instagram Live that she's never made?
amazing. Oh, such a hot mess. You can that is so realistic for her too. Like being like,
Yeah.
I'm rich. Here's my money. I need a housekeeper because I'm not willing to do anything. I need someone to wipe my ass for me. Live on Instagram. It's great.
Yeah, okay, so let's get to like the other, I guess, big thing of the episode. There was a psychic that came. Of all psychics that have been on Bravo, I have to say
Jana Marie. That's who it is. It's Jana Marie.
Jana Marie, she comes to Bravo. I have to say, of all the psychic readings, this was probably the least camp of all of the like psychic readings we have seen on Bravo.
It was legit.
There was nothing like on Salt Lake City. There was no Beverly Hills psychic. It was just like readings. And again, I struggle with this because I have to say, like, these ladies are probably like some of the most famous people that live in New Jersey. Like, there's a lot out there on these ladies.
Right.
All I'm saying, like, a background check can go really far to give you grandparents' information. Not saying I don't believe it, but I'm just saying I always have a hard time when I see celebrities being read by mediums. Am I right?
You're being kind. I don't believe it at all. Like it just was just so. I was like, no, baby girl. Like she has a script. She's going through it. She did a background check and she got it done.
Yeah.
I will say, I thought it was really funny when the psychic was like, Dolores, your relationship is falling apart. It's not worth it. And she was like, Dolores was like, you know what? It's good. That's okay.
She's like, yeah.
And then she's like, I'm seeing a dog. And Dolores was like,
I'm ready to tell my dog. It's like, let's go on our Instagram. You'll see the dog. It's right there.
I was just like, oh, iconic. Like that's some Real Housewives shit.
I love it.
That was Real Housewives shit. Do you have anything to say about the psychic reading, Josh?
It was fun. Teresa having a little line of ocean for the motion. Like what had nothing to do with the ocean. It was about sex. Like she's giving a sexual innuendo when she doesn't realize she's doing it. I love Teresa-isms. Like, what is your guys' favorite Teresa-ism?
Okay, I have to say my favorite moment in this episode was a very like quick cutaway where Gia's like doing homework at the countertop and Teresa just like gets out all the like silverware from the dishwasher and just like plops it down and then it starts like so loudly putting it away and Gia's like, Mom, stop. And then Teresa's just like, oh, like she's just like a tornado. And I fucking love that about her. I love that about her.
Child. The Gorgas are both goofs. That's why I love them.
Yeah, so then I guess the other big thing was like we got a date night with Melissa and Joe. They tied up their story.
Yeah.
Joe apologized to Melissa. This made me actually come around to the fact that I don't believe that the fight last week was real.
You don't believe it was real?
No, I don't believe it was real. I don't believe it was real. I think the fact that he apologized the next episode on camera, that's fake to me. I think the fact that they were doing it was just to have a storyline. When Melissa was talking about it at the luncheon with with Margaret and Jackie, she's like, I'll figure it out, whatever. Like Margaret's like taking it seriously, being like, you need to think about it. Like you need to actually, and Melissa's like, yeah, I'll find what he wants. And this made me just be like, okay, I don't know. You want to have any thoughts about that?
No, I do love Melissa though. I've always been a Melissa fan.
Yeah,
I always have. I've liked her since the first season she was on the show. I think that Melissa comes across as fake, but actually is very genuine. I think she's very misunderstood for that reason. I've always really liked her. I have.
Yeah, I don't think she's fake. Like I just think she's just like normal. So I think she sometimes like has to go outside of the box to like find storylines to be put on TV. Like it's not fake to me. It's just like she's not a crazy person like Teresa or even like eccentric like Margaret. Like she's just normal. And so
I miss her music career.
Yes, I loved. Get her back in those gay bars, please.
Yeah, get her back on display. Like, let's get real.
On display. Each and every day.
That was pre-nose job.
I feel like I'm in for a treat.
You are in for.
You need to watch these old school seasons of Jersey. I actually recently have been watching them. I'm on season 4.
It's almost May. My watch is about to happen.
That's exciting. Okay, Jackie is Rosh Hashanah Nothing to say.
I can say something about that because I'm Jewish. Hey.
What are your thoughts? Do you have thoughts there?
It was cute. I'm not like
cute.
that observant. I like Jackie, and I know everyone hates her, but I really like her. I do.
She's nice.
I do like Jackie, and I thought it was funny the little scene where she was like, "Oh, Teresa invited me," and everybody was like, "Of course she invited you, girl," and she's like, "What?
Yeah.
No." Like,
Teresa gets over it.
And then Teresa was so nice to her, and you could tell Jackie was like, just like treading water, just like skating on thin ice, being like, this bitch could blow at any fucking moment. But she was there, and it was fine.
Yeah.
Let's wait till that reunion.
Let's wait till that reunion. That's going to be a good one. I know it. Okay, so let's rate this episode. I'm going to give it 2.5. What about you guys?
I was going to say 3, just because even though it wasn't campy, I still love the drama of a psychic reading, so I was here for it.
Okay, what about you, Josh?
I'll also give it a 3. I just like this cast. I love them. I can't give it under a 3. I think Jersey's been pretty good this season, and I love Margaret. I love Dolores. There's so many lovable people on it. You can't give it under.
Yeah, it's a really great cast. There's no one I would change. I do think probably Jackie will leave on her own.
Yeah.
Maybe accord, and that's fine. But I think this is such a great cast. It really is a great cast. And they all add something super different and super different energy that really works together well. Let's go to our tops and the bottoms of the week. We can do this pretty quickly. Kristian, do you have your tops and your bottoms?
I'm gonna say my top is Sutton.
Oh my god, yes.
Even though it was just the little preview, I still think she bodied everybody in Bravo this week, was lovely. My bottoms, clearly Brandy, even though she had an average week, she still just needs to get off my television. And then, of course, Sydney. Probably the most bottom of bottoms that I've awarded out in this run. So, gotta give it to her.
Yeah, what about you, Josh?
I have some similar ones. Well, my top is gonna be Gina Marie because she did her research well. Okay. Also Dolores, being really positive about what she's going through and, having the biopsy, and she's staying really calm about it. So props to her. So I put Dolores in the top. My bottoms this week are going to be Marla for denying that she has not gotten liposuction when she clearly is basically wearing a girdle. We got I'm gonna say Carrie for that prank she played, which was going way too far.
Josh, it was just salsa.
It's just salsa and tomato juice.
Right. I would have vomited. And then I'll also a Sydney for sure in the bottom. That girl is a mess. So that's my week. And doesn't Hannah at the top this week for doing it in the bathroom. I give him props to that.
Yes. Okay, let's see. My tops for this week. Deandra for spilling her family tea. I always love that. Deandra's literally my top every damn week, but you know what? She absolutely serves it. I have to throw Kathy and Sutton in there. Kathy, Hilton, and Sutton bringing us season 11 realness. I cannot wait. And I feel like Danielle, because she talked about caterpillars dying, committing suicide in the pool. I like her boy, even though he has some bad tattoos. Bottoms of the week. Sydney for being an absolute mess. Gary, because he had a cute bottom, but also was a mess. Let's see. I think that's it. And Brandy for being Brandy. Stephanie for being Stephanie. And yeah, those are my bottoms of the week.
Perfect.
Yeah, I feel like that's it. All right, so yeah, that's it for the week. Josh, let's tell us where people can find us on social media.
You can find Kristian at Wait, actually, Kristian, didn't you change your Twitter?
I did not yet.
Oh, okay. It's at _KRobs, but it's changing very soon, everybody. Okay.
Yes.
What is it? A doctor? Dr.
No, I want to find a Twitter that's not associated with my name so I can be a hoe. But
you can do your OnlyFans, girl. Yeah.
Not my OnlyFans, but I think a lot of shit that I don't post on Twitter.
All right. I mean, I will give you that support. I'll support you on your OnlyFans journey. No, I'm joking.
Thank you.
Love. Half of Detroit, Michigan is having an OnlyFans journey. You can find everyone on their OnlyFans and dirty Twitters. Good. We have Sam Henson. You can follow him at Sam Henson24. And then myself, you can follow me on Instagram and Twitter at Mendels8. And you can follow our network at Couch Potato Queens. That's Couch Potato QWNZ. Stay tuned, everyone. Me and Alex and also Chantel at Reality Realness are going to be combining our channels for a Circle watch. So we are going to be watching the Circle, and we will be posting that this weekend. So we're going to be doing that. And also Drag Race on Friday nights. So stay tuned, everybody. Back to you, Sam.
Exciting. Okay, so next week, Atlanta, it is wrapping. I'm excited to break down that finale and then get into the reunion. We will do that all next week. So until next week, I'll see you guys later. Good night, guys. Bye.